It's an underlined fact that you have to be agile, you have to be a good fielder, because if you're not, you're called a dabba.
Dabba?
Arey, you go tup, you only make noise, but you're not good enough, you're a dabba. The bigger changes happened recently, but ICC also initiated those changes. Like there was a straight mandate of flying business class for all players in an ICC World Cup. We sit here and talking about the evolution and the changes and everything, that won't have happened.
And today Anjum came in a Ferrari car to the studio to shoot.
Yeah.
And that is all because of the founding mothers, I should say, not fathers, who started it then.
Yeah.
It's in the air. It's a 6.
Welcome to a century of stories, cricket, brought to you by IDFC FIRST Bank, now recognized by Forbes among the world's best banks of 2025. And today we have Captain of India, one of our fine players, my good friend Anjum G. Chopra. I have to say G out of respect. Umar ki cheez nahi hai, it's just absolutely respect. And today we're going to talk about one of the most interesting things is the growth of women's cricket, which in the last few years has been fantastic. In fact, let's start at where we are right now. The women's squad has done really well in England. They won the one-day series, they won the T20 series, and for a long time, Australia, England have dominated in all forms of cricket for the women players. But now it looks like India is really going to have a crack at the 2025 World Cup coming soon.
It seems very good. You know, the growth, I think the very fact that even Harman at the post-match presentation was saying that we've been working hard, but we were not getting consistent results. I think the word consistency is very essential for me. And what I felt was that after they won the T20 series, even if it was 3-2, doesn't matter. You're playing against England in their backyard.
Victory is victory.
Victory is victory. After that, coming in and winning the first one-day international was just that fact that good consistency shown even after a change of format. And then winning the series, even if it was 2-1, doesn't matter. But you still won the series. And there was a new champion, as in a new player of the match every time. So I felt it was a growth, a step up, which the girls have obviously been working very hard. People around them have been supporting them. And the results, I think, was a very warm, welcome sign for women's cricket that they won in England.
So two things we can observe immediately. One is exactly what you said, that lots of people have put their hands up.
Yeah.
It's not like a two-man team or three-man team now. You're getting lots of players. There are crucial moments where partnerships happen, breakthroughs happen, the fielding is fantastic. That's a sense of a champion squad. More importantly for me, I'm thinking that England, Australia and New Zealand have the hegemony on women's cricket for the last few years, and we are beating England in England, and the World Cup is at home.
Yeah.
So for me personally, I think that's a huge now advantage in the minds of the Indian players.
At least it will be a plus. And the confidence that you get from winning, obviously, you know, you win you win inside your own country, you feel confident. But when you win on foreign soil against a quality team, even if they were battling, I thought the bowling of England was very ordinary. Batting was and patches decent, but that's okay. That's not controlled by us. That's not controlled by us. You know, it can happen to us also when we are playing in India, and it has happened. It is a game of cricket. But so the reason why I say these points is because I have to counter my opposition when they are at their best. So we should know that they were not at their best, and we got the better of them. But when we come into India, they also know Indian conditions. A lot of champions players will be playing for England.
WPL, you're saying?
WPL also, and other than, I think India, everybody travels quite a bit. Even other than WPL, there have been so many tours in India. So they will also be very strong when they come in. But the confidence that the Indian team would have earned after an England win in both T20 and ODI, that will definitely help them against Australia, the tour against Australia, which will happen just before the World Cup.
Okay, so that's two big monster teams that we're taking on before the World Cup. But I don't want to push you on to this, but the last point is this is as good a chance for Indian women's team to win the World Cup as we've ever had? Is it a fair point to say? Home advantage also?
Every World Cup there is a chance. Doesn't matter whether you're playing in South Africa, India, Australia, doesn't matter. Every World Cup,
You've been finalists twice.
We've reached final of a 50-over World Cup in 2017 and prior to that was in 2005. That was in South Africa, correct. 2017 was in England.
Right.
And 2020 World Cup final, we have reached once in Australia, that is again in 2020.
We've not crossed that thing, but we're
Yeah.
almost there for the last 20 years. It's not like it's a recent
Yeah, yeah,
team success thing.
So I've played 6 World Cups, and every World Cup I've played a semi-final.
You played a semi-final all 6 World
All
Cups.
6 World Cups and one final, which includes the 6 World Cups. But so semi-final, we just reached like
So
that.
somehow we have to find
Way.
a way to put you into that final when India plays England in the final in India.
No, now we have to find a way to win the final.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, enough, yeah. How many
Correct.
rehearsals?
Correct.
Done to death. Okay, but the main point of this episode actually is to look back at the growth and professionalization of the entire sport. Can you take us back to the beginning? I mean, before your time also, where I'm not quite sure, but it was almost like just run by a few people. It's got nothing to do with BCCI. So the women's cricket team was just like a group of people who came together?
Initially, yes. It was just a group of people, a group of enthusiasts who got together and started the game. But that was way back in 1971 when the first Indian team was made. And from there on, slowly and steadily, the game went on. They progressed. They funded their own tours, if there were many tours. From there on, by the time the Women's Cricket Association of India, that was WCAI, was formed, it took a few years, and again, a lot of backing from the government as well, because cricket was a recreational sport. Men cricketers didn't need backing, especially after 1983. Before that, yes, funding. Women's cricket was also a recreational sport.
So where was the money coming from? The
Sponsors.
Achha, you self-funded, you have to find the sponsor.
The organization used to go look for funding, look for sponsors, and fund a tour basically. Matlab, uniform also, it was like a rarity. Sometimes, like I still remember going for my first game for playing for India. It was a practice match, but I wore the whites in the morning when I left my hotel room when I was getting to the ground. So we didn't even have practice clothing. It was like one T-shirt which you had to wear while traveling. So either you travel and wear your practice clothing, or you travel and wear that same practice clothing to the ground and then change.
It's good to bring this up because today is such a professional sport, but people should know where it started. You're saying that they have to literally with a begging bowl go and find a sponsor, put the paisa on the table, after that go and organize the tour and literally buy clothes and just enter the field. I mean, it's...
So players did fund a lot of it as well themselves. Yes, themselves. The organization, there was hardly an association which was like getting funding or anything, because as I said, it wasn't a government sport. So it was not that government was funding the tours of an Indian women's cricket team. It was barely recognized. It was recognized that yes, because the sport was coming up, but it wasn't like government funded. So some grant here or there. So some, a hotel will get booked, not a 5-star deluxe hotel, but just an accommodation. Or when you travel abroad, you'll be in a motel where you can cook your own food if you have the money to buy provisions and then cook. Otherwise, just go to somebody's house and eat food. They'll invite you.
Dost ka ghar, okay.
Teams usually get invited. So it was like literally
like what a club would organize now.
Yeah. Now or even earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, now there are definitely more organized. So it was a challenge. It was a struggle. So that's why I feel that people like me definitely we took up the sport looking at our seniors. But the credit that our seniors must always be given, the fact is that they continued persisting playing the sport irrespective of what they were getting out of it. It was pure passion and love for the game. Because if they didn't continue playing, we wouldn't have seen them.
There was no money involved, right, for them?
No.
The sponsorship was just to play.
You
can't get paid.
No. वो तो कभी thought में भी नहीं था.
Company का नौकरी company work and all would not come.
No, company work came. I think the railways did start giving employment to a lot many women cricketers. There was Air India which came on board earlier. Earlier there used to be a bank as well which was employing, but only in a certain region. So railways has been a big probably recruitment supporter in terms of especially hiring players. But then that was given to many other sports people also. But because we're talking about cricket, so that was the only thing. But it wasn't that you play cricket and you'll be funded or you'll take away something. No, to, as long as you're not giving anything out of your pocket, it was good. Take away to bahut hi challenge hai.
No, but so that's great because it's like a hobby. I mean, you can't rely on it for your work and living conditions. You have to do it beyond earning money, which 100%. Is fantastic.
It was like a hobby. The hobby was only extended to the fact that you were playing cricket and representing India, which was like a big thing. And look, when you're representing India, then I don't think anything else matters. But once you finish the tour and come back, it was like, now what do I do? Because I've not been paid. I'm not being paid for cricket. I have not been paid by my office, or I'm a student or whatever. So now what? It's going to be a massive challenge. But I always feel that if they had not continued playing cricket, I wouldn't have seen my seniors and played. And we sit here and talking about the evolution and the changes and everything, that wouldn't have happened.
And today, Anjum came in a Ferrari car to the studio to shoot.
Yeah.
And that is all because of the founding mothers, I should say, not fathers, who started it then.
Yeah.
But then it started getting professional just before the BCCI takes over. You started in 95, as in playing for India, but you were already playing cricket wherever you could. So at that point, how was it for you?
1986 is the first time that I actually reached a ground, and as a kid I was there playing. There was trials conducted for young girls who wanted to start playing cricket. So my mum took me to the ground. The coach threw a ball at me and I caught it, and then the story started. Chalo, training camp and all that we'll put for girls. But I was under 15 when I started playing cricket at that point of time. It was only looking at one fine day I'll go and play for India. And of course, 95 when I played for India, it was like a dream come true because, as I said, playing for India is like any given day the thing to do. But funding was all by ourselves. Funding was, you had to, the fact that when you will spend for your own meals was yes, but sometimes even you had to contribute towards the association and, get them to help us to get to a place where we were playing. So, yeah, it was very different back then. But as I said, at least from the time I remember, all our games were televised.
Really?
Yeah.
From the beginning?
From the time I've been playing.
That's something, yeah. That's fantastic.
Doordarshan used to televise our games because there was nothing else. Even men matches used to come on Doordarshan only. So fortunately, when we were playing in India, all matches were covered live. And then after that, DD started a channel called DD Sports.
Right.
During that time, it was only a sports channel. But it was different. But it was like a growing sport. So you always knew you were in a group of players or in a sport which is developing, which is growing, and which is fast catching on.
But when did the BCCI come into it? When does it go from being private body to BCCI run professional body?
It was in 2005.
Oh, that late?
Yeah.
So your entire half of your career, you did not have BCCI support?
No, not at all. So it was in 2005 when International Cricket Council took over International Women's Cricket Council.
Okay.
So the women's cricket was governed by International Women's Cricket Council. It wasn't ICC, it was IWCC. And once IWCC came under ICC, every country's cricket board automatically had to adopt the women's game. Cricket Australia was already involved in the functioning and running of the women's game. So it was already Cricket Australia or ACB, even English Cricket Board.
So these two were looked after by their board.
And New Zealand Cricket
but after
as well.
ICC ka this thing,
the mandate came. It was like ICC is controlling, is the governing council or the governing body of cricket. They will be governing the game of cricket. So there was no men's cricket and women's cricket in two different halves. It was cricket. Yeah. And once that started, so BCCI obviously came in, Sri Lanka and other nations, everyone, had to be run. So for BCCI to take over, it didn't happen till 2006. For a year, we were still playing as Women's Cricket Association of Indian team. And in 2006, I think that was a tour of England in summer, where finally we got the clothing of BCCI.
So the actual India branding comes there.
Yes.
Although you had it before, it was like a private enterprise.
It was because there were still contemplating discussions as the ICC has merged with IWCC or taken over, but that doesn't say that BCCI has to run women's cricket. Why does BCCI need to run women's cricket and all? So I'm sure that those discussions were still on.
Is there a change in your lifestyle then? From 2006 onwards, was it much better, the conditions?
DTC bus से मैं छोटी गाड़ी में नहीं आई थी. वो डिस्कशन वहाँ थी, मैं वहाँ थी. So I was there. It was very different. So only the clothing basically changed. It's a funny thing happened that the first tour when we were given BCCI clothing, because it was all last minute. Yeah, it was all last minute. So the Women's Cricket Association of India, the logo was there on the shirt, and over there the BCCI logo was pasted.
They didn't even give a new one?
No, it was new. That t-shirt was new only, but then there was no time to get the fresh kit of what BCCI. So the kit did come, but then it had to, last minute had to be.
So you're saying because of time constraint,
Yeah,
they had to do it
time
that
constraint,
way.
time
Otherwise
constraint.
you'd
So-
have got some fashion designer to make the new
No,
women's clothing.
No, it didn't.
There was
happen.
coloured clothing, right?
There was colored clothing, so it was pretty late. So because once while washing and that while ironing, when you had to iron your own clothes, we hardly laundry.
Anjum, I feel like crying now, yaar. What is this? This is a very hardship story. Captain
Early.
of India just got a CCI membership 5 minutes ago. Huh.
So that was
You had
challenge.
to iron your own clothes.
Yeah. Because at least we got the laundry done, but laundered it wasn't like hanger. It was on a hanger and under the plastic covers, and then no, it wasn't like that. It was manageable. I said hand to mouth, but focus on the game.
Big change between 2025 then and 2006 and before.
Yeah. I think so. I always look at it as the fact that look at the change between 1971 and 2025.
Ridiculous.
It is like you can't even think of it. So exactly, the Ferrari car has actually been parked outside for many right now, and it's a massive change. So the changes happened recently. The bigger changes happened recently, but ICC also initiated those changes. Like there was a straight mandate of flying business class for all players in an ICC World Cup. So it was like Emirates sponsors ICC. So if you're traveling for ICC events, you will fly Emirates because that is their tie-up. You could fly economy in Emirates, but straight away a few years earlier, it was like everybody will fly business class. So ICC happened with that. Then cricket boards followed, and now there's even domestic players, travel in.
There's money thanks to the WPL and the leagues. The better players are getting to go all over the
I
world.
think
So
it's fair to say that, especially under BCCI,
you're a proper professional today.
Yeah. So
But Anjum, you also a proper professional. You were getting paid. By the time the second half of your career, you were making money as well, right? They were paying you. No?
Not really. No.
I'll use visual effect. Itna paisa? Itna?
Let's say from DTC you could hire a taxi.
In case you don't understand the analogy, you have to come from Delhi. For Delhi people, it's a very hard-hitting home truth.
So let's put it this way. I mean, in 2006, we started getting a tour fee, which was 1 lakh rupees, irrespective of how many matches you played.
Oh, just one
A tour
fixed
fees.
sum.
It wasn't a match fees. It was a tour
Fixed
fees.
sum, okay.
1 lakh rupees, which used to get 10% deducted TDS. 90,000 used to come at the end of the tour.
Okay.
So that was a tour fee.
Or look at it this way, it's a start.
Yeah,
Because
you can
will
say
not
it like,
get, you are out of pocket in the
yeah,
70s
from
and 80s.
spending your own
yeah.
money to fund your own tour
So it's-
to getting.
at least the balance sheet is this way.
Better.
But let's go to 2005 before we go ahead, because that's, I think, the first time that Indian women's team is looked upon as a serious team now.
Yeah.
Because they reached the final of a World Cup and a televised final.
Yeah, it was and a final which we should have won. There was, I mean, even if when we look back and say 2005, we should have won. Yes, absolutely. It was a quality team. It was a team full of match winners. And I can safely say this, that because we didn't know how to play a World Cup final, we didn't know how to win it. Today if you...
But you won up to the semi-final, so how can you say that? I mean...
Because winning a final is a very different feeling altogether. I don't think we prepared enough to win a final. So the line was always final khelna hai, final khelna hai. Whenever you're into a huddle of like final khelna hai, the words were never final jeetna hai. And which is fair.
Good point.
Which is absolutely fair.
Actually, that's what people say all the time.
Yes. So those words always come out of you if you've reached there.
You feel mentally you've told yourself कि ये काफी है, this is enough?
नहीं, बहुत कुछ हुआ था before the final night. काफी कुछ ड्रामा भी हो गया था.
एक मिनट. Please tell. Uncle is awake. Uncle is awake now.
It's like, again, because we were not able to handle ourselves as a team. Between a semi-final win, which was a hard-fought win, we knew we were in the finals, but we didn't know individually how to handle it. Like, what does it take to be a World Cup finalist? We know now, since we've reached there. But how do we beat a team which has won the title before us, even if we have them under a difficult situation or under the mat? They were like 60-4, and we should have, controlled them much better. We didn't know. Our players were not experienced, even though we were a very good quality team. But certain things, don't allow you to get there because you've not prepared enough. You've not been in that situation enough where your opposition has been.
Yeah. But end of the day, do you feel if you look back and had a second chance at it, you all would have won the final?
100%.
Little bit of
100%.
thinking.
I think even if
So is it self-belief? You think, what is the issue?
No, I think if we were in a little better space, mentally as a team, we would have won that final. There's no way that we would have lost the final.
IDFC First Fact. One of the most unique records held by Indian women cricketers is the opening partnership of 258 scored in an ODI game against Ireland in 1999. This is the only opening partnership in ODIs, men's and women's, where two openers have batted the entire 50 overs. More interestingly, the two openers were who? Debutant Mithali Raj and Reshma Gandhi. Let's get back into the fact that the cricket is getting more professional. As you said, from 2006, ICC mandate, BCCI takes over. It gets luxurious and a little bit more professional for the players. And then tours are organized. I think it's more frequent. One thing I noticed is that the white ball always seemed to dominate with the women's programming. And red ball, for some reason, has always looked like a stepmotherly treatment given to Test cricket as against one day and then later on T20, obviously.
So the biggest reason for that is that the organizers feel that you can play 4 T20 matches or 4 ODIs rather than 4 days of one test match. So for men's cricket, the viewership was obviously decreasing. It wasn't that nobody was interested, but it was decreasing. And the advent of T20 coming in and more people wanting to follow the game, whether they liked it or not, they were like, oh, this gets over in 4 hours. Why do I need to watch the entire day's test match when I can watch cricket for 4 hours and get a result out of it? At the end of a test match, I'm not even sure whether I'll get a result. So that started happening. And then because of the financing part as well. So spending money for one test match for 4 days vis-a-vis spending money or organizing a game for like 2 one-day internationals in those 4 days or like 3 T20s in those 4 days was a lot more viable option for organizations or associations.
So what do the cricketers, what do Anjum Chopra feel? Like you would ask a cricketer of your generation from the male side and they will all, I think up to the Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma generation definitely say red ball is number one, red ball is the most important form, I want to play red ball. What did you want to play?
I also prepared for red ball because from the generation that I was introduced to cricket, they used only speak red ball. They didn't speak white ball cricket. White ball came in later and it got prominence while I was growing up. I knew white ball cricket gained prominence, but so much of prominence that even when the T20 came in, you had to change. You know, it wasn't like straight progression from one-day cricket to T20. No, T20 is played in a very different style, different manner, and you have to learn that style. It's not automatic transition. So for us also, red ball cricket was predominantly there. Even today, if you ask today's generation cricketers and what they want to play, they'll say, test match cricket. Because at the end of the day, that is a proper grind. But having said that, it's not that one-day cricket is easier or not important. I also prepared for test match cricket and I wanted to play more of that because here I was learning test match, then I was learning one day and then now I was learning T20. So it's like, I don't know whether I'll be batting at the same position or not, whether I'll be able to adapt to it quickly enough or not because we didn't have so many matches.
But look at how it's changed so much now that T20 in both cases is leading the world. Okay, let's face it, that's the truth now. That's the biggest money spinner. The WPL, fast forwarding a bit, again changes the game as the IPL did for men's cricket. Would you say that?
I think the biggest change that WPL has brought about is the viewership and the reachability. Because now it's on prime time television. It is followed the men's IPL. Now the women's Premier League has come in. So people are saying, oh, there is for 3 weeks or for a month, there is women's cricket happening at the same timing as the men's cricket used to happen or will happen after that. Plus, the quality of cricket is more visible. Foreign players are here, so that competitiveness has happened. And how the sport has started reaching all those areas where hardly cricket used to reach, even when the Indian team used to play. So Indian team will play like today and then 4 days later or another next month and then next month. But WPL is happening every day. So how all that accessibility to people, whether it's on television, whether it's on a digital media, it's there. And yes, the Indian team results, even if they've not become champions today, Indian team results in a good way has assisted in that.
No, the visibility is much more.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will know some of the big names. You know, the Smrithis, Harmanpreets, those Dipti, Jemima. All these names are, coming out there, and even people who don't follow cricket properly will start picking up the names just because the visibility, the brands have picked them up. They're seen here and there, and you can see the game all the time wherever you are. So I think that T20 we have to thank that the T20 format for that.
Yes, we can. We're thankful for everything. It's not that we're not. Even if there's a test match played in India, against Australia or England, they will have an audience for the test match also. But the game, so that's why T20 was actually given that leeway, because they felt that, especially in developing nations who are not into cricket, how do you get those people attached to the game? Because they will not spend the entire day playing cricket or watching cricket. They want quick results. Like if a game of basketball is there, they'll get a result in 40 minutes. A game of hockey is there, they'll get it in an hour and a half. But cricket will, so let's say 4 hours, fine, let's go T20 way. So that's why the T20 format had to be given a little more push. Now it's driving the force.
Unlike me, who doesn't even work on the days he's supposed to work, because ever since I got myself an IDFC FIRST Bank savings account, I have started receiving monthly credit with higher interest rates on my savings account. And also because there are zero charges on all the savings account services, I save more money than ever. Just looking at the power of the batsmanship, I'm just looking at the women and how they hit the ball. Smriti, for example, slender girl like that, she hits the ball a long way. And
So you need to be slender because you need to be agile as well. But at the same time, you need to have that power. So nowadays, cricketing training is all about, force and about power. It's not about muscle, it's about power, because you need to run quickly, you need to be agile, you need to be a good fielder, everything. But at the same time, when you're batting, that's why you might have heard a word called holding your shape. When you hit the ball, you need to hold your shape. So your body needs to have that control where your shoulders are not moving, your hips are not rotating, your leg is holding firm on the ground, so that your bat can come through the line and hit the ball in the direction that you want to hit through. So yes, power hitting has become a very important part in women's cricket also, because irrespective, as you rightly spoke about the size of the boundary. So in women's cricket, it started with a 60-yard boundary. Sometimes it's even 55 yards. Men's will be 70 or 75 yards. From 55 to 60 to 65. Nowadays, even if you keep a 65-yard boundary, the ball can actually go into the stands.
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because of that, because of those strong shoulders, because of those training that you do to build your muscle strength enough, whereby when you hit the cricket ball, the ball does travel.
So without sounding patronizing, it's like the women's game is getting closer to the men's game in terms of the capacity.
It's there.
Fielding is fantastic.
It's in the same pathway. I won't say, because to be fair, every woman cricketer will not be as strong and as powerful as every male cricketer.
Right.
Because the strength of a male cricketer comes
Genetics,
naturally to them. But it's a lot better now. So in a team of 11, at least you can clearly say 3 or 4 players will be very strong, who can hit the ball a long way, clear the fence at will.
And the athleticism in the field.
That is very essential, and that has become very common now. So it's like an under, not spoken or an under, but it's an underlined fact that you have to be agile, you have to be a good fielder, because if you're not, you're called a dabba.
Dabba?
Arey, you go tup, you only make noise, but you're not good enough. You're a dabba.
Okay.
No, you're not actually called that. I'm just saying, when you miss a ball, arey, dabba. It's like in practice training, you must have heard.
Fair enough. It's motivation. Again, these are difficult questions. I'm getting scared you'll attack me and throw the ball at me and I'll get hit on the head again. But did you, when you were growing up, did you look at the female role models, cricketers, or the males? Who were inspiring you?
So I definitely had one person who my mom knew very well, in the sense that Dinah Idalji. She was the captain of Indian team. She was leading the side, and when first time when I saw her, my mom said, "Oh, that's Dinah Idalji. She's the captain of Indian team." That's the first name that I got to know, apart from Sandhya Agarwal and others later on. But I think because men's cricket was so prominent in my household, and we knew Mohinder Ramana ji because he was my uncle's friend, and they played together, and then Kapil Dev lifting the World Cup. So it was more men cricketers' names that were discussed in the house.
But did you look at one and said, "This is the guy I like to follow"?
Not really. While I was growing up, I just wanted to play for India. But
So you had no idol.
No idol.
Like Viv Richards was my idol growing up, and I never played for India. Like that, you didn't have one cricketer you wanted to be.
No, didn't have any cricketer that I wanted to be, but I just wanted to play for India because
Let me ask you the question. The next generation, did they want to be Anjum Chopra or did they want to be Akash Chopra?
I'm not very sure either.
Poor Akash. Come on.
No, the reason is because
Fabulous
Akash
opener.
is so good. They'll be
Yeah.
like, why do I need to be like Akash? Even if I can be closer, it's okay.
No, I
Let
think
me-
by the time your generation came, I think it inspired the next one, yeah. I'm sure they were looking up to you
yes,
guys.
I think probably Akash and myself, because you took our names, I think how more people are getting inspired is we can also better them and take their kind of field, because they see us as broadcasters now, and they'll say, oh, like Akash, I want to do commentary, or like Anjum, I want to do commentary. They might be just one or two people. That's why I'm not saying many.
Okay, you're being modest. I won't push the question, but I'm sure there are. But as we go
yeah,
to the Smithis and the Harmanpreets and this lot, did they look at the female cricketers before?
So people who've seen us play, they definitely say that, you know, we wanted to. We saw some glimpses and we wanted our child to follow you. So yes, people do come. But more today, I think the word of saying Julan Goswami or a Mithali or a Smriti or a Jemi,
Right.
you know, these names will be more common because they are the ones who are playing or who have just recently played. Or probably a Radha Yadav will come in and say, oh, I want to feel like Radha Yadav.
Also, they're from all over the country now, no? So that also
Yes.
makes it different because apna admi hai, you know, from
Exactly.
this ilaka, this small area, that big area. These
Yes.
things also count because people feel that identification.
And plus, what happens is players do go about in different regions and interact with people.
Yeah.
So there is more of a like a meet and greet. So they will
So
get
cricketers
to.
are like politicians. Padyatra. That has to happen.
So then they will say, okay, fine, you know, it's very nice. And some cricketer will be there. Even if you're from Mumbai and you go into Delhi, they'll say, okay, oh, wow, you know, I spoke to this cricketer who comes from Mumbai and she said we should do this and we should do that. So you start idealizing these cricketers as well. Earlier, there was not such a easy thing of meeting cricketers. Now they're there. You can interact with them. So today's players are probably more followed. And if you ask today's players, they'll say a very recent name as well. But there is one cricketer, or let's say two cricketers, Sachin Tendulkar, who, you know...
Across the genders.
Across genders. When I was playing, I was like, how consistent Sachin Tendulkar is. You know, you wanted to adopt that consistency part. Of course, he was so skillful. You can't even
was
say, I
also
want
like-
to copy him. No, there was no chance of
Also,
copying him.
Anjum,
He's
he
so
became
good.
brand India, at least for our generation. So it's a different, you know, level. It's not
Yes.
just the cricket then.
It was just not
it's
the
like
cricket
a brand
then.
ambassador for the country.
Yes. So, and then there was one cricketer of Australian origin, Michael Bevan. You know, a
The
left-hander.
finisher. The first.
Yeah, so one-
Did he average ridiculously in one-day cricket?
absolutely, absolutely. Last ball for winning
Yeah.
a match twice in his career, which I remember. So it's like when I used to look at Michael Bevan, the way he used to run between the wickets, when he used to finish games, it's like there are certain aspects of cricketers, like how Mark Waugh would field in the slips.
So you have answered my old question.
Yes.
You did have an idol,
So-
Michael Bevan.
Yeah, so I wanted to, you know, learn those strong areas of these cricketers and get them into my game. It's like how good they are as slip fielders, or how nicely they can finish matches, or how consistent they are. So those kind of good things I would pick up, and then because to understand the meaning of the word idol, also you needed some time. Like, how do I need to be? I don't know. We never had so many games of cricket being televised at that time. But slowly and steadily, once you get to know them, you get to see them more consistently on television. It's like, right, this is how I want to be.
Very interesting. Absolutely. The main point we're getting here also is that from this generation onwards, I think the reliance on male models or role models becomes less and less.
Yes.
And that just shows how the power or the empowerment of the women's cricket as a
The
whole.
identity.
The identity.
I think women players
on its own
on
doesn't
its
need
own
help.
are getting an identity. The women's game or women's cricket on its own is getting an identity, and that is
And
very
men are
essential.
watching. I watch. A lot of my friends watch. We watch, as in watch properly.
Yeah.
You get involved in the game. I was cheering for India. You're like, come on, Harmanpreet. You know, it's exactly what you would be saying with Shubman. You know, it's exactly the same thing. You're with the game fully. I think that's the first sign that the game has really boosted itself to another level.
And when you go into an audience where you've not interacted earlier and they don't know that you're sitting with them. Like yesterday, I was there in a place where people said, oh, the girls are doing so well. It's so nice to see when the women come and play at CCI, or when the women play at Wankhede, or when they win a tournament in England. Oh, they are doing so well in England. You know, that goes to show that the game is followed. It's on television, yes, but the game is followed. So that's a heartening sign.
So quickly, in the 2010 ka decade, 10 to 20, the women are getting brands, deals, endorsements and all that. Just tell us about that in a little bit. Could you see suddenly the growth of the game and the growth of the, let's say, the economy of the women's game?
Yeah, it became better. You know, so to be on a cover page of a magazine, or to, you know, get called for an event, especially because you've led the country or been a part of the country's team.
I've done two events with Mithali Raj and with Anjum now. Yeah, so I've done that. That means
It's
I've worked with
now.
women cricketers of one generation.
Yeah, that
and one with I think one with Harmanpreet also.
मैं वेट कर रही हूँ, लिस्ट बढ़ रही है.
It's your show.
So yes, that started happening, and that was again an indication that the sport is getting recognition. So it was good. It was good to see. But that watershed moment I still feel was after the 2017 World Cup when the girls reached the final. It wasn't for the first time. They lost the final as well. But once the Prime Minister met them, and then the whole country was like, oh, so sad, they lost the final.
Okay.
But they celebrated as to say they reached the final.
Also, I got this from a Mumbai cricketer who was very upset that the male cricketers are not allowed to play in other leagues. If they're not selected for the main team, for example, they have the time, whatever, but they don't get that NOC.
Yeah.
Lady cricketers are allowed.
Presently, yes, which is a very good thing. The reason why I say that is because, the number of matches domestically or internationally men cricketers play is far greater than what the women get to play. And there's no club cricket also. Not in every state do we have club cricket. So yes, it's a very valid bone of contention between men's cricket and women's cricket that women cricketers are allowed to go and play foreign leagues, not the men cricketers. But the other side of it is that the women's game needs more exposure and more matches, not the men players. Men players can still play a league in Mumbai or in Delhi, even though the women cannot. It's not going to be like that. The other thing is that looking at the expansion of the women's game, that becomes a very essential thing. If India does not go and play foreign leagues, foreign players might not be permitted to coming into India and playing the Indian league as well. So it's somewhere kind of an understanding between the cricket boards.
So it's like promoting all of women's cricket and also yourself at the same time.
Yes.
Because at that stage still, so we're just waiting for the stage when the women's cricket is super successful when we say you can't play.
It can get to a stage like that, but probably not today, not for the next decade. You would still want to get there as we have that kind of pool of players. We don't have a pool of players. It's not like one male player gets injured and there's the next one equally good enough to replace that. Women players still will take some time. The women's game will still take a little bit more time to getting there, but at least we are, as I say, on that pathway.
So where's the women's game right now as we speak? We're going to the 2025 Home World Cup, etc. What good shape are we in?
Pretty good. I think the fact is, skill-wise, we're obviously good. Home conditions, common.
Should get good crowds?
Yeah. One thing we have to give credit to BCCI, and I think the world does take note of that, is the fact that we've got so many international venues, ICC recognized international cricket centers, and the pitch in every cricket ground is top class. Especially because, there are good batting conditions. And you need good batting conditions. If you want to watch a good game of cricket, you have to have good batting conditions. So for the World Cup also, all the venues will be very nice. We will be playing in Colombo also because India has to travel to Colombo. Yeah, it's not joint. The World Cup is being held by India. But because we can't host our neighbours in our country, so we have to host our neighbours in a neutral venue.
Okay, got it.
That's why, Colombo is a chosen venue. So India will travel to Colombo as well, and our neighbours will be playing all their matches in Colombo. So the changes will be there. The adaptation of the players has to happen because India is the home nation, home host country, so they will play in every venue. And every venue will have certain changes, not much. But it should be good. They're looking in good shape. They should be ready for the challenges that they'll be facing because it's one team in a different condition every time you play and you travel. So it's up to the girls how they take it.
And we'll talk about this more in the other episode, obviously the World Cup episode. But is it fair to say now that the cricket is professionalized to an extent where many of the names that we talk about, they are proper professional cricketers and are doing very well and will inspire the next generation to become cricketers because they can live off their earnings?
So live off their earnings will happen because, it's there. But at the end of the day, you still need to be a quality international cricketer to get into that.
You mean to be able to play the leagues and all?
Yeah, because everybody doesn't get to play the league. Everybody doesn't command the same price.
So if I'm just an Indian cricketer, am I not making enough money? Who doesn't get chosen in that elite group of, players?
No, not that much. No, not that much.
So not that much. So you're saying the stars are getting...
Yes.
So maybe 4 or 5 of them are getting a huge package and the rest are...
Still there. So you let's say that if they're a contracted cricketer, so a grade C contracted cricketer is paid 10 lakhs, for example. So, in that amount, you can obviously take care of your cricketing expenses. When you travel and play, you're obviously taken care of. But while you are there in a grade C, you don't have to pay from your pocket.
But there was a point where...
grade A is 50 lakhs.
Huh.
So, again, there's
Is it on parity? There was a point where it's...
So the match fees is on parity.
Correct.
The same...
Match fees is on parity.
Match fees.
Not the grades.
Not the grades.
So let's understand the system here quickly, guys. Which is Anjum, will you explain?
So there is a match fees. Each game of cricket, T20, ODI, Test match.
Right.
There is a match fees to it. A Test match fee will and all the other format fees is the same between men's cricket and women's cricket.
Got it.
Same fees, but the contracts for the men cricketers are different from the contracts of the women
The
cricketers.
slabs are also different.
Slabs are also different. When I say contracts, means they're all contracted. Everyone is contracted for a year. Those
Right, right,
players
right.
picked by the selectors are contracted for a year, but the fees, like for example, a 7.5 crore grade A plus contract for a male cricketer, in which we will have like a Virat Kohli or a Rohit Sharma.
Right.
The grade A for a male cricketer is, I think, 5 crores, but the grade A for a women cricketer is 50 lakhs.
Oh. 5 crores and 50 lakhs.
Yeah. Grade, I mean, 5. I think it's
Okay,
5 crores for a male cricketer, but the top,
That's a very big difference.
the A plus is 7 CR plus.
My God.
Yeah, so they have a A plus and an A, and a B and a C and a D. I think something like that.
So
But women cricket is
the
A, B,
disparity,
C.
So B and C are disparity is there also.
Yeah,
in the
it's like
slab.
10, 30 and 50 is the slab for women. Highest slab is 50. The highest slab for men cricketers is beyond 7 CR.
7.5 or something. How
Yeah,
much?
7 CR plus.
Wow.
I think it's 7.5 CR plus.
Okay, so there's work to be done.
Massively.
Yeah. But marketing wise,
You have to add zeros. It doesn't come easy.
zeros, so I'll contribute. But marketing wise, would you say the women's game has grown proportionately as well as the men's in the last few years?
I think men's cricket is a very much evolved product already. It's already there in the market. There are very few areas to improve in men's cricket. You can only spread it. So it's reached a level where you're spreading the game in different
Other countries
ways.
and all that, yeah.
Yeah, for the women's game, it is still growing. I'll probably say that it's in the same pathway as the men's game, but because it has legs quicker to reach where the men's game has come because of the different modes of communication to the audience, or how the people take the sport or are able to absorb the sport, view the sport as well. So there are more mediums now. But I won't say that it's there where the men's cricket is today. It's still got a long, long way to go. But yes, a World Cup victory will only propel the growth of the women's game quickly or quicker than what it is
So
at this time.
one final question on the same topic. So then are we on par with England, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, the SENA countries at least?
The skill-wise?
No, in
Popularity-wise?
payments.
I think Australia is still better.
Okay.
Yeah, they're still better. But in certain areas, we are very good as well. Like the WPL is a world-class product. Hands down, there is no
The number one league.
comparison in terms of payments to what international cricket players get to what Indian players get when they travel abroad and play international leagues. WPL is so far ahead that it can cover 2-3 seasons in one go easily
So
for a player.
So not just the World Cup, the big aim for all cricketers is to be part of the WPL circus.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. So that's why the WPL will always attract very good cricketers, like the IPL attracts the best of the cricketers. But what IPL has done is that it has helped develop our domestic talent rapidly over the last 15 plus years. Now we are actually seeing such a good pool of domestic cricketers actually being there, giving a run for the seniors to be there in their in an Indian team. I think the women's game will also catch up in that respect, where interacting and playing along with the best of the best female cricketers who are playing WPL, our domestic talent will also tend to improve. And our domestic cricketers who are unable to make it to the WPL have started,
But
pushing
18
the bar.
years of IPL, and maybe after 7-8 years we saw the benefits coming in.
Yes.
But we're just for third year, so
Yes.
we have to give it a little more time.
100%.
But it'll gallop through.
Yeah.
All right. Talking about evolution, a vital alert from IDFC FIRST Bank about a scam which has been evolving in the recent past. What am I talking about? Social engineering attacks via impersonation. Scammers impersonate senior officials, urging urgent action like transferring money or purchasing vouchers. Watch out for messages from unknown numbers, urgent requests for financial actions, and intimidating behavior. So please stay cautious, verify requests, never rush into actions, protect yourself from fraudsters. Stay safe.